I call Simon O'Connor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Hey, look, I want to begin by acknowledging Tracy Martin as the sponsor of this bill. It'll be no surprise to her that I will not be supporting it. I know, shock horror. For not only personal reasons but constituency reasons, I have found going throughout my electorate in Tamaki there's support for this for a number of reasons. I'll come to that. But I think importantly it is to acknowledge the hard work that Ms Martin has put into this. She is the hardest working in that party, and I think it's great that your bill's been drawn out and we get a chance to acknowledge that tonight. The opposition, I'm interested in truth. And it's good that your side begins to wake up and acknowledges what some of the great work of your members are doing. But I oppose this bill, and as other colleagues have done. In beginning the reflections, I can't help but think that there's a new entertainment troupe that could go to the convention centre after we've heard some of the deliberations and sharings in the House today. I'm not going to mention names, but even in the course of this particular discussion, we've had, yes, very entertaining, flamboyant qualities, which, yeah, we don't need a Blue Man Group or whatever at Sky City after this. Look, the agreement has been signed. It's been signed. It's unfortunate in some ways that this bill has come so late and after the fact. The reputation of the government is incredibly important at any time, and certainly when it comes to anything to do with contracting. Having come from that background myself, your word is your honour, and how you articulate that in a written form is incredibly important. And for the government, the Crown now, to repudiate that, to turn on that, would be unfortunate and goes well beyond just simple costs. But costs themselves are important. The call for a convention centre in Auckland has been there for a very long time, and a convention centre of a sufficient size. We are fully cognisant that the Labour Party has supported Sky City in the past, paradoxically, Mr Speaker, also allowing 230 pokie machines as part of the deal, but a convention centre that doesn't cut the mustard, does not actually adequately support Auckland. The National Party, MPs like myself in Auckland, want to see a convention centre that Aucklanders want to actually help support our city. And we think we've got an incredibly good deal here, ultimately, for some changes in regulation and for, yes, more pokie machines. We are able to build and develop a world-class convention centre in Auckland. Even the current Mayor of Auckland is supportive of it. As I said a bit earlier, constituents of mine who work in the industry or associated with it are supportive of this. It's going to be actually good for the whole of New Zealand, because not every convention will ever be able to held in Auckland, but through a great convention centre there, I think it will actually highlight the convention centres in other places like Queenstown. New Zealand is a small country. People can travel, so I don't see this as having any implications on the regional sector. I think, in fact, this will highlight and further enhance New Zealand as a destination for conventions. Mr Speaker, the other elements around this is that we ultimately, as taxpayers, do not have to put forward 1 cent, ultimately, for this to be built. The risk has been taken on by a private firm, and I think there is always room for the Crown, the state, the taxpayer to engage along with the private sector. This is a very positive step in this regard. I think the last point I want to raise, because there's been some sort of philosophical discussion around harms and how we balance those. Look, in society there's always harm. Okay, there's harm to do with gambling, be it pokies, lotto or the horse racing. The qualities of a government is to balance those harms. We do not live in some sort of utopian world, and with no offence to my colleague from Epsom, but the theories which various economists and the like will put forward are all well and nice. Our challenge here is to balance those. And so to Ms Martin and others who are supporting the bill, I think we do have the right balance in building this convention centre, putting in the checks and balances required around gambling, because we are aware it causes harm. But we think that the benefits of having this convention centre far outweigh any other concerns, and I oppose the bill.
Tracy Martin, 5 minutes in reply.
Kia ora, Mr Speaker. Thank you.